School is where it is happening, technically. School is where, at the moment, it's meant to be happening. And, you know, going all the way through high school, hearing about safe sex, hearing about reproduction, blah, 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 and never once hearing any reference to same-sex sex. Not only does it put students in a position where they have no idea what to do and they have to go to the internet. So now that we've got the internet, better situation because there's all these places they can find out info, but that's not a good thing. But they shouldn't have to go to the internet to find that. But beyond that, the fact that it's not mentioned when you're talking about sex completely renders you invisible in that moment. You know, you're sitting there and you're like, none of this applies to me. How is this helping me at all? You're saying crap because I'm not going to do that. So I don't need to know what you're saying. They do, that's fine. But what about the rest of us here? And so that culture where you know you're speaking and you know you're meant to be learning about how to be safe when you're having sex and blah, 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 blah. Because you're not mentioned at all, you are, again, feeling isolated and feeling abnormal, I think is kind of the feeling that comes there. Is this abnormality because when we're talking about this topic, you're not included, and that means that you shouldn't be doing what you feel naturally aligned to doing. And it's really interesting, I think, now being a PE teacher. For those of you who were at the previous session, one of the reasons that is happening is because there's no teacher education and because a lot of teachers aren't feeling backed up in even teaching about it. Like, I just went through 4 years of a uni degree, and the only time that sexuality or gender was mentioned was when I did a lecture on it. Because I went to my lecturer and I was like, this is a joke, they're about to go teach it, can I say something? Because otherwise they're going to know nothing. She was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, what a great idea. I don't know anything either, great, you can teach me. But I think that's one of the reasons is where things should be said and where information should exist, it's not yet being delivered. And so where we're meant to hear from our teachers, we don't even have an opportunity to hear from them, let alone kind of develop an understanding of cultures within ourselves. I mean, personally.
Yeah, on that point of teachers, like I know especially at my school what happened was even the teachers were conforming to these set ideas. So you'd have a few teachers who were really supportive of you as a person and, you know, they wanted to see you rebel and buck the system. But then there would be some who were really afraid of you as a person and they didn't want to talk to you, they didn't want to deal with you. But the ones who you could see were gay in their relationships and like had discussions with me about being out, they conformed when they were at school. The one teacher who we had who was out was then asked to resign from her job. And I think on that point, like at a school where you see teachers even conforming to these set ideas, for you then to try and stand up for yourself and what you believe is right is one of the most difficult tasks that I've ever had put upon me. And I think that's a struggle for lots of students, that we're all sitting there and we're, you know, struggling to find who we are and accept it. I think that's where the struggle is, accepting who you are. And having teachers as your role models who can't even accept who they are in a school environment. It's tragic. And that was my real struggle when it came to that teachers couldn't even be themselves.
And I think this is like, it's instilled in everyone from such a young age through advertising and media, because children see at like 3, 4 years old that they have to play, if they're a girl, they have to play with a Barbie doll and they have to wear pink, and if they're a boy, they have to play with guns and trucks and they have to wear blue. And you see it everywhere you look. And like, if you watch a movie, most of them are like romantically based, and the girl finds the perfect guy, and then that's what we feel like we have to do to fit into everything, and we feel like we have to fit in to like boxes.
From there, something that's really sort of inextricably linked to advertising, I suppose, is something that's even more like central to the adolescents, especially now in the digital age, which is popular media, which is popular culture. I mean, so you have your television shows, your movies, your music, everything, your books, and I think this part of our culture, of our lives, is very, very important for our movement, for our cause, because it's really how, I mean, the way things have developed now, it's really the way we see people often comes from the way we see people on TV and the way we see people in movies. So we'll see a character, we'll see a stereotype, and then when we come out into the real life, we'll see someone, we'll say, oh, he fits that stereotype, he must be A, B, C, D, exactly what we saw in the TV show. So this really links very well with the queer community. You sort of have movies like, I mean, you have like Mean Girls with one of the main characters, with the gay friend, and from there has stemmed this massive culture with every girl wants a gay best friend. And sure, there are gay guys who are really nice, really friendly, really flamboyant, and who are great best friends. But that's not everyone. That's not everybody. And people shouldn't think that. And this is sort of subsequently caused. I mean, it's not just that movie, but it's this character type, and that has caused this big outburst of people expecting gay people, you know, like accepting only gay people who are girls' best friends.
So this idea of people are people, and they might identify however which way they do, and probably that has impact for how we actually address these things in the schools.
I think, you know, leading on from what Anna said about conformity and what Jodie and Michaela said about, you know, like this invisibility and, you know, not really talking about it and not being existent in the language that we use or the way that we speak to other people around us. You know, it's kind of this background issue that people sort of push under the carpet, and from that we breed this pathology of LGBTIQ people. You know, for me, I think, you know, at school I developed this perception that gay people were unsuccessful because I didn't have a role model to look at who was both successful and identifying as gay. You know, this heteronormativity concept makes us see everything about being LGBTIQ as abnormal. You know, this other, and you know, those stereotypes that we develop is in part like a massive lead-in to the heteronormative culture. We've hit on like most aspects of socialisation, but I think we've missed parents. Like for me, my parents are not a supportive environment. You know, we were always brought up thinking, you know, mum was always hoping for the right man to come across, you know, to fall in love with. And so even from such a young age, parents set up these ideas that, you know, you will fall in love with, and he will be excellent, and you will be a girl, and you will wear a dress to Christmas. They look nice.
These dresses again,
yeah.
longer.
This is scarring people when you have children. Don't make them wear dresses because they don't want to. No, but I think from such a young age, you know, the socialisation from your parents is really important, because that's from that 0 to 5 age where you're learning so much about the world. And you know, what I was learning was that girls were to be dainty, and they were to cook, and they were to clean, and be perfect housewives. I didn't quite make the cut in the end, but I can do all those things. But you know, that socialisation is setting up gender norms from day one. You know, you have a new child and they go, oh, is it a girl or a boy? It's a child and it's healthy. What's it got to do with the price of fish? It's got nothing to do with it. I don't need to wear pink, I don't need to wear blue. I just need clothes.